Peace, party people. Welcome back to episode 79 of Where My Killa Tape At. This is a special edition. We are going to be talking to the production team of Daddy Diaries, which is a series of monologues about fatherhood and fatherlessness. So check it out. Where my Killa Tape at, B? All right, party people, we're back to Where My Killa Tape At, and we have the production team of Daddy Diaries. So go ahead, y'all introduce yourselves. Oh, I love this.
We are Living the Dream Entertainment, LTDE LLC, out of Dayton, Ohio. This is Tommy McGuffy coming at you here with my other business partner, Marva Williams Parker, in the absence of our third business partner, Tiffany R. Countryman.
And that one was my fault. That was my fault. So can I call you about first names or last names?
Marva, Tiffany, and Tommy.
Tommy, there you go. So that's cool. So I can call you that informally, right? So my first question to y'all is, where did the Daddy Diaries idea come from? Like, how did it hatch or whatever?
Tiffany came up with this idea of doing a opposite portrayal of the vagina monologues, to do it from a father perspective.
That was my idea.
Was it your
idea? It was so my idea.
I gave you credit on. I gave Tiffany the credit on the last interview.
So and
Tiffany gave you the credit. She was like, "No, that's Marva's idea." I was like, "No, it was your idea." And she was like, "Well, maybe it was. I don't know." So I gave her the credit. We know somebody from LTDE has this idea.
I'm not gonna get hurt. I'm not gonna get hurt if y'all wrong, right? I just want to make sure.
So Tiffany or Marva came up with the idea of the Daddy Diaries of being an opposite, of being a male perspective of the vagina monologues from the father figure itself. And so it was a great way to show the father figure through the eyes of many different people. So you see a vantage point. You see male perspective, female perspective. You see a son perspective. You see a daughter perspective. You see the baby mama perspective. You know what I'm saying? And so there are many perspectives to it. We only chose 8 of those, and there are
12 total.
Right, 12 and pending others. So I think that there are more pending, because there are more that can be sprung from this concept as well. So we are looking to put together a book. It's from my understanding of our partner, Tiffany R. She is writing away. She's in a writing frenzy right now.
Okay, and that's great. So there are spoilers. So y'all gonna give us spoilers, because it seems like you're giving out spoilers, right? So I mean, it's cool. I don't have a problem with it. It's y'all show. So if y'all want to give out spoilers, that's on your
show. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, this is my podcast, but this is y'all show. So I mean, but so Marva, what made you say? Because Tommy just said that y'all want to do the reverse of vagina monologues,
right?
But you want to do it from the daddy's perspective, father's perspective. Why a father?
We did
instead of just saying, "Oh, okay."
Last year, called, what was our show called? I wish I had a daddy.
Okay.
So we were on the dad perspective, and we did a couple community talks about fathers and stuff like that. So Tiffany wanted to stay on the vein of fathers.
Gotcha.
So I was like, well, why don't we do something kind of like the vagina monologues? And she had never even heard of the vagina monologues.
Wow.
So I told her what it was, and I was like, we can do it from different fathers' perspectives. And she was like, oh, I like that idea. That way it wasn't, we didn't want a full stage production.
No, he's good. No, he is.
Bring your child to work day.
No, he is good. He is good.
Yeah, we didn't want a full stage production. We wanted something light and airy, so we figured we would go the monologue way.
Okay, all right. So now, what made you guys decide to do it? I know you just said that you did a previous play. What made you guys decide to do it? You guys and gals decide to do a play versus, say, like a video or a documentary or YouTube or anything like that?
Why did we choose to do a play?
Well, we chose to originally do a production company, which was the thing. And so after we had a chance to work on the last play together, we decided to put together LTDE, Living the Dream Entertainment, which I want to say that was actually Tiffany's brainchild. Because I said on the last
Shout out to Tiffany again.
Shout out to Tiffany. Marva. And so we decided to do more plays and things like that because Tiffany is the playwright, so she writes the plays. Marva is the director, and I handle all things music, and so it just works very well. It works very well. So we have such a great synergy, I would say.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's funny because I was going to be my next question. Who does what? Yeah, you answered it.
And there we go. And that's who you go. So Tommy, you got time for another question?
There you go. Yes, sir. And because the question, how did the production team come together? How did you guys come together? How did you meet? Was it something? Were you friends first, and then?
So we all knew Tiffany separately.
Right. Okay.
We knew Tiffany separately. So Tiffany knew Marva from her earlier days. Marva, Marva being much older than me, so I
used to mentor Tiffany.
Okay. All right. All right.
Big brother, big sister.
Okay. All right.
Marva was a high school mentor in elementary kid.
Wow. You have to go there. As long as I don't get hurt in this discussion, I'm good.
I knew Tiffany because we used to work together in the community. So we did mentoring in schools together. We did community advocacy and so forth. So when she brought us together, when she had the original concept of I Wish I Had a Daddy, the stage play, and she brought Marva in and she brought myself in and we met. That's how me and Marva met.
Okay, cool.
Me and Marva couldn't stand each other.
We didn't like each other. He thought I was mean.
Marva was very mean, and Marva talked about my music, and so Marva was like, I don't like it.
I didn't like
she didn't like the original hit song of I Wish I Had a Daddy.
Wow.
That was the thing. It was the hit song.
I don't like that.
She was like, I don't like that. I was like, oh, okay. So we sing your language. And then ever since then we've been just loving them. It's just
now he's my brother.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, Tim, where are you? Tim, we miss you.
That is awesome. That's an awesome story. That is awesome. And I bet you there's more to it.
No.
So did it take like a week and then y'all was cool? Did it take like 2 months?
No, it was like same day. It was like same day.
He pulled me. He heard me talking about his song. And pulled me to the side like, look, you're the director. I'm over music. Let's stand on line, and I respected that.
Okay,
cool. Because a lot of people don't check me, so I was happy.
Okay.
I pulled her to the side to address that. Like other people, they would have probably did it like out in public, and that's not the best way to do it.
Of course.
We always try to make sure that what we do as LTDE is to keep a level of excellence, period.
Yes.
So whether Marva is directing, we never correct Marva in front of the cast.
Gotcha.
Or express how we may feel, like, hey, I didn't like that part. And the same vice versa. And even with like Tiffany, like when she's writing and she drafts it out, we hear her through her whole concept.
Yeah.
We read through the whole script first. We don't start to say, well, I don't like this first sentence, go back and rewrite it. We try to hear everything all the way through, and we try to give each other that much level of respect. And that's what works for us. It's always 3 out of 3. Our business partnership is actually very different. We believe in 3 votes. We need all 3 of our votes.
It's Democratic.
It's not 2 out of 3.
Yeah. It's Democratic. Okay, it has to be unanimous.
Yes.
It has to be unanimous. It's not Democratic.
Wow.
We're not Republican. We are the original Whig Party. 3 out of 3. Unanimous.
Yes.
No, that's awesome, and I'm glad that you guys brought that up because a lot of times you got people do it passive aggressively, right?
Right.
They won't say anything, but they might do something to kind of like sabotage or just try to get their way. So so I think that's dope that you guys on the first day went to the side and discussed it and hashed it out, and was able to work it out, and now you got something bigger and better.
Yeah,
I think that's really dope.
Definitely.
So I'm glad that's a dope origin story. Now we're gonna talk about spoilers because you guys kind of like opened up that door.
Did we?
Yeah, you opened up that door, Tom.
When did we open that door? I just said that there were just 8 monologues chosen.
No, but you actually said there's a dad, there's a
male perspective, a female perspective,
a daughter,
father, son,
and then baby mama, and like so.
Yeah, that's not really a spoiler. Though.
Yeah, it is because it is.
No, you have an introduction. No, you have an introduction. You see what the plot is. And the plot is always mentioned on IMDb, International Movie Database. They always have a plot that's listed.
Yeah, synopsis. It's not a plot. Synopsis.
A synopsis. I just gave you a synopsis.
No, I think you kind of gave me some spoilers because you said there was 8 out of 12. A synopsis would just be like, This is a synopsis. It's a father version of the vagina monologue. That's a synopsis.
That's a short synopsis.
Yeah, but that's enough.
But if you look online, like a synopsis is usually a few more sentences than that. So I gave you the few sentences that you needed. I didn't tell you who's playing who and who's doing what.
So no spoilers. No spoilers at all. All right, because I was gonna ask.
No spoilers.
So I was gonna ask another.
Marva.
Okay, so that's good. No, because I think that's a good idea.
No spoilers.
There's no spoilers. So yeah, no spoilers. That's fine. That's fine. So I know you guys did an open cast call.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys pick the final that were gonna be in it? How did y'all do that?
Marva actually led that part because Marva is very picky and critical.
I'm very particular.
And not in a bad way. It's that she knows what she wants and she brings that level of excellence to our company. So I think that's the thing. And so we respect her in that vein to say, well, Marva, who are you feeling should be in these things? Because Marva is ultimately the director. She's looking at it from the perspective of, as a consumer, what do I want to see? Like, who is going to really wow me? Who's going to woo me? Who's going to make me believe that you are the blue, blue, blue? Since we're not listening to spoilers.
Yes.
So, and so I think that's Marva's lead, really.
Yeah.
I think and we just kind of follow and we may tune in and be like,
Yeah, we were all at the audition.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave their input, but overall, it was the process of who got the part.
Marva.
Got you, and that's dope that you like.
She's the one to woo to all future people.
There you go. There you go,
Marva. She loves flowers and Mike and Ike's. So you may want to.
I know you like Mike and Ike's. I know you like Mike and Ike's.
Original Mike and Ike's.
We want to bring some in.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said original.
Mike will bring you a box of Mike.
Because my kids don't like the original. They like the other ones. Yeah. So when I bring them the originals, they be like, ugh. So I'll be like, yeah. So yeah. Hey, they're kids, right? This new generation, right? This new generation.
They're not ready. They're not ready.
And I kind of asked you this question before, so because it looks amazing, right? It's going to be dope. Will there be another run? So let's say, for example, like you're turning people away at the door, like we ain't got no more room.
We will not do another run this time.
Of course,
we actually have a 2020 season. So I don't know if that's like a question and answer.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
So.
Oh wow.
We actually have a 2020 season coming up, and we are actually going to be doing a musical entitled August the 28th. So we'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
No spoilers or synopsis for you right there.
Gotcha.
And we're also going to do a sequel to the original play, I Wish I Had a Daddy stage play, also called Mama Did Her Best.
Okay.
Which is the sequel stage play, actually, of that. So we're actually going back to the last year's plays to pull that sequel into this year. So if we do another run of the Daddy Diaries, we will probably exchange some of the parts out, since there are 4 more that have been currently written and there are some that have yet to be written. And so it may be a different set of them, So if we do the Daddy Diaries again, it may be a different set of 8 monologues that you're never saying, because there are many perspectives when we look at the male father figure and what that means to us and what does that look like. Are you looking at a 2-person home? Are you looking at a blended home? Are you looking at 2 blended homes and what that father figure looks like that you had 2 dads? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of room there that we're kind of playing with, right?
No, because I'm glad you said that. Because the reason why I asked is because I saw the vagina. I didn't see the vagina monologues in its original form.
Right.
I saw it somewhere else, so I thought that was the original. So I remember when I was comparing those, they were like, "Bro, what did you see?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, it was totally different." So then I learned that people were taking the idea and then like putting their own stuff in there.
20, 30 of them.
And then we kind of want to do what they did though, like making it into a book slash little script. That way, if someone doesn't want to buy it, and
it took off. Yeah, it was a small production, and it took off. So when I saw it, I thought it was like the original.
Okay, where did you see that?
I saw it when I was living in Virginia.
Okay, because I did it at the Therapy Cafe years ago.
So So I thought it was like, oh, and they were like, nah, you saw something different, bro. Right. I was like, oh wow.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. So when when we talked about
it, that there are multiple.
There's
more.
Exactly.
So what you may have seen are not the same original ones as they may have saw.
Right.
And not knowing that there's really
there's so many.
There's like 20 to 30 monologues. So you may have seen like 7 to 10. They may have seen 7 to 10, but those are not the same 7 to 10.
Exactly.
I may see 7 to 10, and they may not be the same as you all. So I because I think it's about empowerment. It's about the perspective of it in a sexual sense, in a sensual sense, all of those pieces. And so you definitely get that. And so in ours, we're trying to do the same thing. We're not trying. We are doing the same thing. So I'll say that.
And I don't want to keep comparing it to like Vagina Monologues. It's totally,
that's good. That's good. I mean, I love the Vagina Monologues.
Yeah, I do too, but I don't want to, because I want to be like that, because for some people, daddy means something totally different, right? Right. So so I don't want people to be like, oh, I don't want people to show up and be like, wait a second, like that's so like.
You might get that. Who knows?
You never know. So I think it's dope because we have this consistent conversation about what is fatherhood.
Yes.
What does fatherhood look like?
Yes.
You hear a lot of numbers, and I know right now the number is currently 80%, particularly the black community is saying 80% of households are run by women. Mm-hmm. Right? That's a new number that's out now. But that doesn't account for the fatherhoods that are, that don't live in the home. Exactly. It never accounts for that. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't mean because the father's not in the home doesn't mean that he's not present. Not there. Or uncle is not sitting in there. Or granddad, exactly. Or granddad's not sitting in there. Or, there's so many factors involved. Mm-hmm. And I think having these kind of discussions are important. Even if it does that. If it does, I mean, I know it's going to be a great production. It's going to be great. Clap, 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 clap. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. But it also wants to have those discussions that we should be having when it comes to what is fatherhood.
Yes.
So which we actually have a talk back after the first show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, awesome! I'm going to the first show, so that's perfect.
Yes. We're going to talk back after the show, and we're going to talk about why we wrote the script and why we chose to do things in a certain way, and the audience will be able to actually interview the actual cast members and ask them how they may have felt about their script. Mm-hmm. How do they correlate with that? Do they have any similarities in their character? And things like that. Because I think those are things to actually think about.
Yes.
How do you really embody the character sometimes, especially for like such a heavy content? Do you have an origin story there? Something like that.
And that's the purpose of theater. It's supposed to create a dialogue. So if you've done your job correctly, then they should be talking about it after the show.
And that's how you feel, because there's some people who say I do theater for art and for art's sake.
I'm all about.
So I think that's dope.
Art, I think that's everything. Yeah. Even with art, it should provoke dialogue. I
agree. I get to the debate because my son is an artist,
right?
And he's 15, so it's like you should be. He's like, nah, I just want to do my thing, which is fine. But I'm like, you should be able to spark dialogue, and thoughts, and ideas, and all that.
She is the expert in that area, and I think working with Marva has given me a deeper perspective on the theater world. It's more than just it feels good, because I'm more so into musical theater. So for me to kind of step back and take the music out and just look at theater overall, there are many different facets into it.
Exactly.
It's not always the stage play. That there are the monologues. There are other things. There's a one-man show or a one-woman show. I mean, so there are many different areas there within it, and I think that it really, what you'll see is that we do give a different perspective, and it has definitely taught me some things. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I have a deeper appreciation for the fine and performing arts outside of just what I know musically or dance-wise, and it's like, okay, even what I thought I knew about theater, Marva has given vantage point to that, where she's giving voice to that area too as well, to explain that it's more than just that, and everything. So I can believe that.
So I'm going to ask you a question, Tommy, that it's kind of be the same that I'm going to ask towards you. So you have, because you do music, what did your background come from? Were you just doing music and then went to theater? How did that happen?
No, I actually started off as a classical musician.
Okay.
I actually come from a family of musicians. So my mom actually plays the drums and everything. My father played piano. He actually thought for years that his 3 weeks of piano lessons just really just stayed in him, and it was transferred through my, their whole union, and so it just transferred through the DNA, and it was just there, and that's what he thought. So my mother's side is more musical, they sing, they play all those kind of things, and I used to bang on pots and pans and stuff as a little kid. My parents, they had decided that they were going to send me to an arts school, and so I actually went to Cleveland School for the Arts. We actually had a Cleveland School for the Arts here. It's in Dayton, Ohio, also. Not just the main one up in Cleveland, Ohio. And so I went to Cleveland, and I learned. I started off as a general student, so you learned how to play just about every instrument, or you learn kind of like all the basics of the instrument. So I used to play drums. I played the dulcimer. I played the alto sax. And I started singing, and then I played classical piano. And then I took piano was the thing that really kind of like took off, and it really kind of like stayed with me. And I did that all the way up up through college. I did classical music even in college as well, so I'm very well versed in Beethoven, Mozart, Claude Debussy, which is one of my favorite artists in the classical music genre. And so I did all of those things, and I was still studying jazz.
Okay.
On the side, I was doing pop culture, and of course, I went to church, and so I had like the gospel influence there. So so I've done music like pretty much since the age of 5, and I'm now 34. So going on 30 years in the music game, and and now being a professional gospel artist and transitioning from a regional gospel artist into a national gospel artist, and that's where I'm at now. And so it's really it's really great. So that's my expertise in the music genre area. Period.
So then, how did you jump into theater from there?
I've always done. Well, I had some training from my grade school days and in high school too, and so I've always been into musical theater. Gotcha. So whether it's like Dreamgirls or Chicago or A Raisin in the Sun. I mean, I always had some great things. I love classics. Yeah. And so those were the things that really caught me, that brought me more into theater more so. Because I did used to see like the theater teacher, and they would try to get me to be instrumental. I was like, no, I'm into music. But not knowing that there was music theater until I got a little older. And I'm like, oh, wow. So you can combine something that you may be interested in and something that you're really great at and put it all together. And that's music theater. So, so just kind of seeing those plays and seeing how they turned the plays into the movies and things like that, and seeing what was different about the movie versus the play, all those different kind of things. And so, so that's my whole little area. And coming into this, when like Tiffany asked me for the original play for which I had a stage play, it was different. It was more in my vein of being more kind of gospel related because it's Black church family, in a sense. But it wasn't too bad, so I was able to kind of navigate through it, and we were able to pull some things together. And because of my eccentricness and working with Marva, like, oh, I need to hear this, I need to hear a bell, I need to hear some thunder. It's like, yes, we're all on the same page. And so me and Marva clicked on that aspect of knowing, like, hey, well, I hear something like, I hear this sound, I hear like a little buzz sound right here. And she's like, I do too, And so it works. So it's like, oh man, so it's cool. So now I'm getting into the Daddy Diaries, which is a monologue. It's more black box theater. So you're really more focused on the actors. And so it is a lot more acoustic, natural sets musically. It's watered down, not watered down in the sense of it's less than, but watered down as in the focus is not on the instrumentation. We're watering it down to where it's the basis is on the actors. So for me, it was teaching them maybe not a song, but I had to teach them how to do spoken word on the beat, and things like that. So you'll hear some things like that. That's your spoiler right there for you.
No, thank you. No, I think it's dope because once you told me your background, I'm like, man, you're a professional. Like you're really a professional. So you can
the Grammy. I'm trying to get the Grammy,
and you will. And you coming. And I like that you literally came at it from a scientific perspective. So all right, so that's dope. So now I'm going to extend that question to you. How did you get into theater, and what's your background?
My background is dance, all dance. Yes. I've been dancing since I was 3 years old.
Sicily.
Yeah, I'm all about dance. I went to college at Tuskegee University.
Oh wow!
Yeah, HBCU. All about that. But I was only there for a year. My behavior made it as such I had to come back home.
Really? No, you lying.
I'm so
sorry.
That's a whole other So I got back home, I enrolled in the Sinclair, and I took psychology, but still a minor in dance. I needed 1 credit to graduate, and I was like, I'm just going to take theater appreciation. It should be an easy credit. But while I was taking the class, the professor was like, I love your personality. You should audition for one of the plays here. And I was like, Sinclair has plays here? She's like, yeah, you should audition. I auditioned, got the lead role, ended up winning a Tony Award, a Daytona Award for it.
Wow.
And then fell in love with theater, and so I started doing a lot more acting. My acting checks paid for me to open my own dance studio.
Yes.
So they kind of married each other. Like I remember when we laid our dance floor, it was for my first acting check. That's how I was able to do it. An assistant, I won another Daytona. and I just love it. That's mine isn't as long as Tommy's. I'm not gonna bore you with all that.
No. I mean, no, but I mean, you know what? I mean, I'm not trying to critique anybody, but me and my partner get into that all the time. Where I'm like, she's an expert. She's been doing this for decades. She's been an artist for decades. So I'm like, when you give advice, right? You guys just gave me expertise that I didn't know about, that I had no clue on the level that I could understand it, and my audience will as well. And that's work. Yeah. Like that's work. And a lot of times we downplay our expertise because we're not like making $1 bazillion. Yeah. Right? But it's still expertise, it's still time, it's experience that other people don't have. You know, so a lot of times we downplay it and go, but you're an expert. Yeah. Right? I went on even outside the Daytona Awards. Yeah. You're an expert. You know what you're doing. If somebody was to come to you and say, hey, how would I do this? You can say, well, you can do X, Y, Z. And okay, and that's where that's consulting, right? Yes. So you're still an expert. It may not sound as fabulous as Tommy's, right?
I married the two. I married theater.
She's being very modest. Yes. She really went on to talk about her experience in dance because she's not just a director; she does the choreography too. Yes. Because even I think people think that when you say choreographer, they think that you're talking about dance moves. But it's about your blocking, knowing your lighting, knowing your angles, all those kind of pieces. And Marva brings a lot of wisdom into that vein because I see her when she's like, no, your lighting's bad here, or no, this ain't the right way to hold your neck, do all those things. And that's really important because it all sells the character of who you are portraying. I know for myself as an artist, as a musical artist, I have to be aware of those things when I'm performing. And so to have somebody like that who is like, here's your good angles, here's your good size, here's what you do, da 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 da. And so she's just being very modest right now. I
just look at the totality of it. I feel like
I'm about to bust you right now. How long you had a dance studio?
8 years.
You know how hard it is to have a dance studio for 8 years?
Right.
It is very hard. It is very, very hard. 8 years is very difficult. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big. I know it don't feel like it, but I've seen dance studios open, close, all over the country. Open, close, open with people with big names, right? So like, I knew Fred Berry, Rerun. I knew him. Wow. Okay. I don't think any of his dance studios lasted more than 2 years, right? So it's free run from what's happening, right? So like that's a big deal. So 8 years, that's that takes a lot, and that's more than just being a choreographer and a dancer. It's also being an entrepreneur. Being tied to your community, having those connections. That's relationships that you build. That's not an easy task for any business. Think about it. So give yourself some props. That's a lot.
Make sure you go to Mike Ladon studio.
There you go. So I think that's dope, and then I like that. I wish Tiffany was here.
Man, she is the creative writing, so we can.
She does the writing.
She has done writing. She is really good with expressivity. That is her vein. She is good about coming up with great ideas and concepts. I think she's really good. She reminds me of myself as a writer. That we kind of share the writing. That we share similarities in how I write musically. She reminds me of that for the theater or just expressive writing. Period. Of really taking concepts, ideas, because we can have a conversation about something, and she'll go and be like, "Hey, here's 8 pages or something." It's like, wow, like you did that in like 30 minutes, and it's like because that's what like comes to her naturally.
She really paints a vivid picture. Really does.
She does. She has like here's what I'm seeing, and here you go as you can read on page 3, and she knows exactly where like everything is. Like turn to page 5, it gives a better. Vivid canvas of what we're doing, and so I think that's really great. And so we all respect each other for what we bring to the table, and we
learn from each other.
Right, we do. And when we may lack in something, the other picks up for that and things like that, and we never show anybody our weaknesses.
And if it's something we don't like, we just give it to the other person.
Okay, that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, we just let it work. Because I'm not a big talker, so I'm like, Tiffany, handle that. And she'll be like, that's right, I got it.
So you guys compliment each other.
We do compliment each other. Especially to the outside world, we don't let anybody see what happens behind the scenes. We would never. We're always unified together, and it's a genuine unification. It's not like we just sucking it up because we're in public. It's a genuine unification. So for those of you who are just now tuning in, we want to let you know it's a genuine unifying moment.
We love each other. Really
or 20 years from now, we watch the Radio 1 documentary.
Right.
What those things called? I couldn't stand her. Like, you know.
But I think when we have a disagreement, I think we try to talk through them. Especially for myself, I am really big about talking through things. Let's not let stuff fester. Especially at this point in my career, because I have a lot of things going on, and I don't want for things to fester. So let's have a conversation. Let's see where we're falling short at. And so I think we all provide a piece to each other. So where me and Marva may have a disagreement, Tiffany provides peace for us. Where me and Tiffany may have a disagreement, Marva provides peace. And where Tiffany and Marva have a disagreement, I provide the peace for them. So I think it all works very well together, that we're able to help each other to see the vantage point, so that we can all come to a 3 out of 3. So that it's always unanimous. Yep. So there were 2 out of 3 unless it's like, what are we going to eat at or something.
Okay.
And that may be a 3 out of 3 too, because I think we all be like,
So I'm gonna get to that three thing, because I've never heard that before. I never heard
something new.
All of us gotta be on board, or it's not gonna happen. How did that happen? Like, how did that?
I think that was me, because I really have always like pushed for that.
Okay.
Because I respect everybody's voice and opinion, and I feel like I'm not one for group projects. I hate group projects.
Okay.
I hate group projects.
He was saying that since I met him.
If I'm not in charge of the group, I don't want to do the group project. So for coming into this, it was good, because I'm like, wow, we all are 3 out of 3. We all have to have a voice. And I told them, I said, I would prefer if we all come to the same agreement.
Yes.
And that it's never a 2 out of 3, so that somebody feels be belittled
or left out.
Right. Like, to say, well, then it's a 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
So we try to go to 3 out of 3, and we always are kind of there. And I think that you're right. Like it's worked so far. If we feel any kind of way about it, I think we just kind of lean to say, well, whatever is decided, then that's what we'll go with, and things like that. So I think we make the compromisations in the right places at the right times, and all those pieces.
Because I mean, usually it's a triumvirate. It's the way a triumvirate is supposed to work. Even though it never worked like that, right? In history, it didn't work, but it's a true triumvirate.
It's been working for us.
I'm glad, and I think it's dope. And it's dope. Yeah, it didn't work for those guys. Yeah.
I'm not helping you act a fool.
But I think it's dope. I think it's something. I hope my listeners take notes. I think it's like I said, I've never seen it before, and I'm glad that it's working for you all. So
that's what it is. I know I was gonna think of the name. Caesar, Craxus, and Pompey.
So yeah, it was what you right. Yeah, I couldn't remember who they were. All
We're not helping him act a fool.
So yeah. No, I think that's dope.
Their tribunal didn't work.
It was triumvirate. Yeah, it's called triumvirate. Yeah.
Ours worked.
Yeah. So
it does. It works.
So it goes to my next one, because I know Marva's busy. Right, and then you just told me your stuff. You're busy, and then I found out about Tiffany's stuff. So how do you guys do it? Like, how do you time management? What's up?
Our group text is.
We text all day, every day.
Okay. We text all day long.
And if we get into it, we do a conference call to kind of hear each other's voices.
We do a FaceTime conference call.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't have all iPhones in your partnership, you may want to get one. So because we're allowed to have a group conversation via FaceTime, and we'll talk about it.
We just prioritize.
So that's technology. Number one is technology.
Technology helps. And I think we all have a sense of spirituality. So we remain calm and not act Neanderthalish or anything like that. We all are very civil. We all try to make sure that we're not offending each other either, because like text messages are hard sometimes.
Yeah, they're hard to decipher.
Yeah. Okay, hey, I think we may need to talk again. And that's how we do it. But I mean, it's never.
And it's respect. Like we know that each other are busy, so we respect each other's time.
So 2 spiritual alignment, and 3 is like maturity level, respecting other people's
technology,
and respecting being spiritual, and then respecting other people's time. Like, that's number 4. Like okay. So that's in a nutshell. So I hope y'all taking notes, because for everybody else.
We text from 6 a.m. to 12 midnight.
Wow.
Depending upon who is up. Or not.
We'll talk later. Because if I have an idea, I'll just text it. Somebody else will respond.
And we do respond. Generally, I think when we see it's our message, I think we respond. Okay. Versus like if somebody else randomly texts but then when she's like, hey guys, like, I have an idea. What do you think about the cast on this or this? And that's really important, because even though that's not our bailiwick and that's Marva's bailiwick, it does make us feel inclusive,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so it makes us feel inclusive. And so she does not try to make us feel excluded from those areas, you know, and we all try to do that too, you know, like, hey, what do you guys think and stuff like that.
So being transparent too, like, so that's number 5, being transparent, like, hey,
being transparent, we wear thick skin.
That's good. That's good. I think in any business, in business, you have to have thick skin. Like, so
thick skin, and we realize that there's a friendship underneath it all. You know,
awesome.
I couldn't have imagined doing this with really anybody else.
Okay.
Like, so when I look at Tiffany and Marva, it's like, man, like, I'm very grateful to God for the friendship and for this partnership and our union in a business sense, you know, and things like that. And so it's really worked out really good. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm very particular about who I align myself with. Because I get asked all the time to do stuff. Can you choreograph for this? Can you do this for this? Can you help? No. But most of the time I say no. So Tiffany was surprised I actually said yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, okay, we can do it.
And I think I think what's dope about having your business, and me and my partner get into this all the time, she's like, I don't feel like doing this for somebody. And I'm like, well, it's your business. You don't have to do it.
Yes.
I don't want to do this meeting at 8 in the morning. You don't have to. It's your business. You can do whatever you want in the afternoon.
Exactly.
So I think you know that as well. So you said she was surprised when you said yes.
Yeah, you have to say yes. I can do it. I like it.
Did she have to work up to ask you? Like,
she was nervous about it. She was nervous about even letting me read the first script. She was just so nervous about what I would think. And I was nervous about reading it. So I'm like, I'm going to have to tell her if this script sucks. But it just happened to be really good.
Oh, wow.
So that
wow. Yeah, because as a writer, writing is like, when you write something, that piece is like a baby.
Yeah.
And then you're like, here, take my baby.
Yep.
And then you wonder, are they going to like my baby?
Right.
Think my baby going to act up? And like, you think about all those things. So that's the only way I could compare it to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that for like Tiffany and stuff, I think Tiffany is very, very, very optimistic.
Okay.
She's very optimistic and she's very imaginative.
Yes.
And those are great qualities for the writer because she's giving the benefit of the doubt for every scenario, for everything. And I have learned to see that. I was like, Tiffany's very, very optimistic. And it's very inspiring because it makes me like, okay, well, let me reevaluate what I'm doing on my end to make sure that I'm matching what they're doing on their pieces and things like that.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that because most writers are pessimistic.
She's not like
that. No, I think that's good. I think that's great because even when you talk to like, talk to like professional writers that have like Pulitzer prizes, and they're very pessimistic about their writing, about other people's writing. They're very what's the word I want to use? They're very self-deprecating.
Yeah,
I can never write like that.
Yeah,
you know, some of my favorite writers, they like, I never want to republish this work again. And you're like, I love that piece. It's like my favorite piece. So like to hear that, that's dope. That's very dope that she's optimistic, and I think that'll help her.
Yeah.
You know, in the future. So so that's dope. Anything you guys and gals want to add to this discussion?
2020 season casting call coming up in November.
Yes, the casting call.
Please look on www.livingthedreamentertainment.org. Stay informed for our casting call. You can follow us on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at LTDELLC. And we will have the information up because we'll be actually posting our casting call for the month of November coming. We will be posting it after this coming weekend. So it'll be great. So the month of October, please make sure that y'all get in line, call for your time slot and all those pieces because we're doing 2 major plays next year. So we will be casting for our season. So somebody has the opportunity to be in both of the shows. And some people may have opportunities to be in one production. And if you're not casted, don't stop, pursuing what you're doing, So
pursue your passion.
I'm mad at Tom because he jumped the gun. I was gonna ask for the social media stuff after that, but that's cool. No, you good because I'm gonna. No, you good. I'm gonna put everything again in the show notes so when they do it, it can just link right to it.
My bad.
So you Tommy, you good. Yeah, I'm enjoying myself. And again, this is why I love podcasting. So again, you guys have a season coming up.
Yeah.
And then a book in the future, potential future. Do you guys know like 2020 or 2021 or?
Start 2021.
Okay.
2020 is a little full.
Yeah, you guys are full.
And we want to make sure that we give it the right amount of time and dedication and commitment. As being a writer, I know for sure because I have a published work. So being the author, you definitely want to make sure that it is given the proper time and all those kind of things.
Exactly.
And I know that Tiffany is not going to want to rush that because her name is associated with that.
Right.
And so as being the writer for these monologues, I mean, she's going to want to make sure that it is together and that Marva has time to read through and make sure that it's like scripted the right way. You know, because we're not recreating something, we're creating something from scratch. So we want to, make it hard to follow up to that thing. And that's always our thing. That's always my thing is I want for other people to actually step their game up.
Exactly. You kind of want that. If you inspire someone, awesome. But you kind of want to make something that no one can match or maybe can try to emulate
and match it.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. So. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I know it's going to be Saturday. We have there's one at 2 o'clock.
Yep, there's a 2 o'clock matinee right after there's a talk back, and then there's a 7 p.m. evening show.
Okay.
And this is the show you do not want to miss.
Of course.
It's wonderful content.
Of course.
The actors are phenomenal. It's going to be a really good show.
Definitely. So again, I want to thank y'all for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you for having us.
Oh, no problem. We're going to do this again. Of course, for the 2020 season and then for the book.
Hold you to that.
Yes, we will. Because we work together.
Yeah.
We're connected so many different ways. Mm-hmm. So we're definitely And then even if I forget, let me know because I always have room.
We hope to see you in one of our plays.
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to. We just had a lot of changes. Right. And I would, you would think that with my daughter in college, I would have more time, but no, it's not. I thought it was going to be that way. Yeah, so I thought because she's out of town, so I thought, but no, it's like much more complicated. Mm-hmm. So that really threw me off. And then my son doing track, I just go on and on So. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Okay. Everybody, peace out, and everything will be in the show notes. Woo-hoo. So there you have it, party people. Once again, if you're thinking about booking me for a panel discussion or a workshop, you can hit me on the Gmail, dantresomi@gmail. That's DANTRESOMI. Also, you can hit us on the official With My Killa Tape at Twitter at Omi's Podcast or MIS Podcast. Or on my personal Twitter, which is at dantresomi, DANTRESOMI. All the other information for this weekend's event for Daddy Diaries is going to be in the show notes, so please link it. If you're not local, you could always purchase a ticket and donate it to someone who definitely needs it. Word. Until then, peace.